welcome back. So today I'm doing a review, wear test, demo, all that junk on the new Sunday Riley The Influencer Foundation. So this is what it looks like. It comes with 1.08 fluid ounces, so a little bit more than your standard fluid ounce. Okay, so on Sephora's website, this foundation retails for $42 and it has 20 shades in it. So I have the box right here and it basically claims to be a natural looking, long wearing, lightweight, satin matte, medium to full coverage foundation. Y'all will see my thoughts on these claims later in the video where I put it on and all of that. But it basically says it's a clean, natural looking, long wear coverage that doesn't disappear even through workouts, humidity, or days when you are feeling extra oily. So obviously this is geared towards oily skin. I have dry skin, so keep that in mind. This is not the skin type that it is geared towards. It's not what it's made for. But I figured I would go ahead and review it for you guys because I might as well. I really like the fact that you can choose different undertones. They have golden undertones, pink undertones, and neutral undertones, which is fantastic because a lot of people fall into different categories. Now, one thing I will say, I have mine in the shade 110, and it says that 110, which is the lightest shade, is very fair with pink undertones. I do not have pink undertones. I have yellow undertones. I'm very golden. So you might want to go in store and swatch this just to make sure, because the undertones listed online may not be totally accurate. I will say, however, that I have seen a lot of other people that say that they're pink undertones and say that 110 worked perfectly for them. So I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm actually neutral and it just kind of works. I don't know. I'm not good on undertones and all of that, but this is a fantastic shade match with me. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this compared to some of my other foundations so we can get an idea of how it goes up against some other lightest shades that I have. Okay, so here we have the Sunday Riley foundation in 110. Next up is Marc Jacobs in Y130. Next we have the It Cosmetics CC Cream in Fair. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus in Porcelain. And this is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Swan. So compared to these swatches, the Sunday Riley foundation definitely has more of a pink undertone, but you'll see how the shade works in the demo portion of this video. Okay, so if you want to see how the Sunday Riley Influencer Foundation applies and my thoughts throughout the day, then just keep watching. Okay, so my skin is washed, moisturized, and primed. I went in with the Pixie Beauty Rose Flash Balm as my primer today, which is why I'm looking extra dewy and glassy. I want to say I'm really sorry if y'all hear dogs barking or construction or whatever. We've been getting our fence redone for the past like 2 weeks, which should only take like 3 days, but it's just been a whole situation. So the guy just got here, he just started work again. I'm really sorry, but it's been a situation today. I'm really sorry. So I'm going to go in with the Sonia Kashuk sponge on this side of my face and the It Brushes for Ulta Radiant Foundation brush on this side of my face, and we'll see which one looks better. So I'm going to do a full pump on the bottom of the sponge here. Okay, so this is my skin after one full pump. The sponge does soak up a lot of product, so the full pump mostly covered this and then a little bit of this. I'll need more up here, but the sponge soaks up a lot of product. So it's definitely high medium coverage. I can still see freckles coming through. I can still see acne scarring coming through. And some just like random darkness, so it's definitely not full coverage, but it's definitely close to it. And then here's my skin without it, just for reference. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the brush on the other side. So I'm definitely gonna have to smooth this out with the sponge because it does not look great with the brush. Oh my, what is happening? What in the world? Okay. This just is not... I might have gotten a little bit better coverage with the brush, but not enough to make it worth it with how cakey it looks right now. I mean, it's just sitting there on top of my skin, chilling in all of its cakey ass glory. It looks real bad between my eyebrows. It looks real bad on my nose, around my mouth. It just looks cakey everywhere. Like, this is one of those foundations that you don't get full coverage, but you get the mask effect of full coverage. So it's really not worth it in my opinion, just because, you know, I can deal with a little bit of cakiness and those issues if I'm gonna get full coverage and I'm gonna get like the full effect of it. But if I'm gonna get medium coverage at best, this is not acceptable. I need medium coverage, light coverage foundations to look like skin, not like I'm wearing a mask of just bad foundation. That's all it looks like right now. It's just sitting on my skin. It's not wanting to really blend into anything, and it's just sitting there, emphasizing all of my dry patches, all of my everything. It's supposed to be medium to buildable full coverage, so I want to see if I can build it up to full coverage, and not so much. Yeah, no. It just, if you have perfect skin, then this might work for you, but honestly, I don't know anybody that has perfect skin, so it's just sitting there. It's not blending out. It's driving me crazy. So I'm definitely gonna have to set this because it is still very tacky and it's kind of like transferring onto my fingers when I touch it. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and finish up this section of the video. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. I am tired, y'all. So real quickly, I just wanted to show y'all kind of what I'm talking about. On my nose, it's just like you can see all my redness coming through, but you can also see the foundation sitting there and emphasizing everything but not really soaking into anything. It looks really heavy around my mouth. It looks really heavy down here. It's already sinking into smile lines, which is ridiculous. You can still clearly see all of this coming through. I feel like my forehead is pretty much the only place where it looks half decent. Everywhere else it just kind of looks heavy and like it's sitting there. Okay, so I just finished the rest of my makeup. It is now 11:30, so that took me way too long to deal with. I tried lots of different things. I basically doused my face in setting spray, hoping that would fix it. It did not. So, I don't have a lipstick on. I look crazy. Be right back. Okay, so I just put on Urban Decay Uptight, but I tried doing a lot of setting spray, like a lot of setting spray, and it kind of helped and it kind of didn't. It's definitely toned down a lot. Like I said, I did have to set it because it was real tacky. So, you know, it could basically only go downhill from there because I had to add more powder. The setting spray definitely helped to an extent. Kind of helped melt everything together and make it look like one layer. But it still looks just as cakey and heavy as it did before. My forehead still looks great. So, but it's just everything else that looks heavy and not great. So I'm going to check in with you guys in a little bit. I'm going to try and keep this on all day. We'll see how long I last. It's not looking great. But the good news is I don't have anything to do today. So I guess I might as well keep it on. Alright, so I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Hey guys! So it's been about 3.5 hours or so now since we last talked. Now normally I would expect a foundation after 3.5 hours to, you know, warm up to my skin, sink in a little bit more, start looking a little bit better if it's looking a little rough. And this is not doing that. So I wanted to show y'all what it looks like in natural lighting. So I'm standing in front of my window rather than in front of my studio light back there. But just wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like. Okay, so this is what we look like in natural lighting close up. As you can see, I think, hopefully, it's still looking just really heavy. It's just like full on in the smile lines now. The forehead still looks great, of course. Why wouldn't it? But it's just, it's not doing good. It has warmed up a little bit, but not to the point where it makes it look better. It's not. Excuse me, sir. Can you not make those disgusting noises, please? It still just looks really heavy and cakey, and it's not. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me so much of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I just realized that. It looks very similar to that foundation in how heavy and powdery my skin looks, and just how it's kind of like caking up and sitting on dry spots that it really shouldn't be sitting on. Reminds me a lot of that foundation. I just realized that. So that's interesting. I don't know, I just feel like, and even my bronzer over here, I feel like everything is sitting weirdly on top of it. Like it's not even just the foundation. I can't, my arm hurts. This camera is heavy. It's not even just the foundation. It's just like everything looks worse with this foundation. So yeah, that's my 3-hour check-in. I mean, it's holding up well. It's not rubbing off anywhere, and I touch my face a lot, so that's not an issue. There's no like bald spots at this point. So, I mean, that's cool. If you have trouble with foundations like rubbing off really easily or breaking up, this might be your jam. This might work well for you. But for me, right now, there's better foundations out there. There's fuller coverage foundations that look better on my skin, and there's foundations with the same amount of coverage that look 10 times better on my skin. So it's just, it's a no. It's a no right now, but I will check in with you guys in a little bit and we'll see where we're sitting. Okay, so it has been about 8.5 hours or so. I'm ready to wash my face and take this bun down because my head hurts. So I'm gonna run through this pretty quickly. I am looking very shiny, which is interesting. I don't usually have this like issue. I mean, I don't mind it. I like that like dewy, healthy glow kind of look. It's just interesting that this foundation went from like super matte and dry to shiny on my dry skin. Now that might have something to do with the primer underneath it, because that is very like a thick, dewy, hydrating primer, so maybe it just finally broke through it. I don't know. Despite the shininess, I still look really heavy, really dry, and really cakey. So it's just like I can't win with this foundation. It doesn't warm up to my skin. It looks like it has. It looks like it's really just like settled in and it's just like, but I mean, it's just caked into my fine lines. I really do just, it doesn't look good. So yeah, this foundation is a no for me. It's just, there are no good aspects of this foundation. And usually there's some sort of like redeeming property that I can kind of get on board with, but this foundation is just, no. The coverage is not good enough for the cakiness and the dryness and the fact that it just like burrows into my fine lines. I don't even know what to say. I'm tired. I'm staring into a very bright light right now, and I'm ready to wash my face. I want this off of me. Like, I can feel it on my face. My face feels heavy and like I want to just scratch. And I know that if I do that, I'm just gonna come off with like scratch marks in the foundation, which is really gonna look gross, but yeah. It has started to wear away on my nose a little bit. So that's interesting. But yeah, all in all, this was just a no for me. There's nothing good about it. So I hope you guys liked today's video. I hope you found it informative and helpful in making your decision about whether or not you want to try this foundation. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.